They are my fans.
Order.
Don't worry.
Honorable member, you can proceed.
What I have seen the past 2 weeks, I want to tell the people of South Africa that I have seen humbleness, humility, and people that listen to each other. I want to congratulate the Minister of Finance. You came to present a budget which the DA, the PA, and the different parties didn't fully agree with. But the ANC were humble enough and say, let us hear you. A wise man changes his mind. We are united.
In an unprecedented move, the scheduled budget presentation by Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana was delayed due to unresolved disagreements within the Government of National Unity. Marking the first such postponement in 30 years, the National Assembly Speaker Thoko Didiza informed lawmakers that the decision to delay the tabling was prompted by a lack of consensus between the coalition parties. Deputy President Paul Mashatile, who leads the government's legislative business, conveyed the difficulties in reconciling differing views within the coalition. Didiza said the parties could not find one another, signaling deep divisions within the GNU over the country's fiscal future. A new date for the budget presented has been set for 12 March. The delays follows widespread speculation that the treasurer was considering raising the value-added tax rate. This prompted fierce opposition from the Democratic Alliance, the second largest party in the GNU, which made it very clear that it would not support the budget should a VAT increase be included. The DA finance spokesperson, Dr. Mark Borg, condemned any proposed tax hikes, warning that such measures would exacerbate the already heavy financial strain on households, and said the cost of living has been steadily rising, leaving many South Africans struggling to afford basic necessities. Any tax increase will face widespread resistance, not just in Parliament, but across the Government of National Unity. Following the delay, EFF leader Julius Malema expressed frustration with the continued discord with the GNU. Criticizing the government's inability to reach an agreement, Malema took aim at Speaker Didiza, accusing her of allowing party politics to undermine the core functions of Parliament, and said, under your tenure, Speaker, Parliament cannot even debate or adopt the budget. You are reducing the country's budget to party politics when it should rise above the decisions. Malema further asserted that the executive, rather than political parties, should be in charge of presenting the budget.
It has rendered Parliament useless. It has got no authority because budget, whether you agree on it or not, you must bring it here so that it can be debated and ultimately adopted. So there is no government. Because if you don't adopt budget, it's clear the government has collapsed. Today we have witnessed the government, National Unity, a coalition, grand coalition of DA and ANC collapsing in front of South Africa. Something that we said to all of you, that it will not last. We will never agree to increase of 2% on VAT from 15% to 17%.
Meanwhile, Mzanele Manyi, chief whip of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, described the delay as shocking, further highlighting the dysfunction within the ruling coalition. Leaked drafts of Godongwana's proposed budget speech revealed that a 2% increase in VAT, raising the rate to 17%, had been under consideration. The proposed hike was framed as a necessary step to fund critical areas, including public sector wage increases, expanded early childhood education, the retention of key frontline workers such as teachers and healthcare professionals, and vital infrastructure projects like revitalization of the country's commuter rail system. Additionally, the government hoped to provide above inflation increases to social grants, targeting the country's most vulnerable populations. In a press conference, Godongwana acknowledged the contentious nature of the proposal but stressed the need to explore all options for funding the country's priorities amid ongoing fiscal constraints, and that what we are grappling with is not solely the issue of 2%, but rather a broader challenge of how we fund our priorities given the fiscal situation. We must find ways to secure funding for our needs, whether that means cutting expenditures further or identifying alternative revenue streams. That's a take on this one, people. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.